Because of you, I filled out an application. I'm no longer homeless. I have a job. I'm actually contributing to my community, and I couldn't do it without being able to see. Other people, they wouldn't be able to do it without smiling and not being in pain constantly for dental issues. Watching somebody who actually comes in, they're sad, they're embarrassed because they don't have any teeth, they don't smile, they don't eat things like even a sandwich, and being able to leave with a little pep in their step, smiling, just beaming with confidence is huge and life-altering.
Welcome to the Nonprofit Podcast Network. Our purpose and passion are simple: to highlight the incredible nonprofits that make our communities stronger. Each episode is a chance for these organizations to tell their story in their words, sharing not just what they do, but why it matters to the people they serve, to their supporters, and to all of us who believe in the power of community. Through podcasting, we hope to amplify their voices, inspire connection, and give them one more tool to impact the hearts of donors, partners, and neighbors alike. Our work is made possible through the generous support of our partners. Cap Trust, offering fiduciary advice for endowments and foundations. Western Health Advantage, a local, not-for-profit health plan that believes healthcare is more than coverage. It's about caring. CORE, executive leadership and comprehensive support services. They work in it so you can work on it. And Five Star Bank, a local, trusted advisor to community nonprofits for over 25 years. Our episode sponsor is Sacramento Venture Philanthropy, a community of generosity combining people, expertise, and capital for good. This episode is powered by SMUD, Sacramento Municipal Utility District's Shine Awards program benefiting nonprofits for energy efficiency. Apply today. Some nonprofits bring care to the people. California CareForce brings an entire healthcare system to a community. In this episode, I'm talking with Cyndi Ankiewicz, Executive Director of California CareForce, an organization that operates almost like a healthcare roadshow, loading approximately $1 million in equipment into trucks and transforming fairgrounds and event spaces into no-cost dental, vision, and medical clinics. With up to 70 dental chairs, prescription glasses made on-site, and volunteer healthcare professionals donating days away from their own practices, these clinics do far more than relieve pain. They restore smiles, sight, confidence, and opportunity. Since its beginning, California CareForce has served more than 55,000 people, mobilized nearly 24,000 volunteers, and delivered more than $21 million in donated healthcare services. Cyndi and I talk about the enormous logistics behind every clinic, the community partnerships that make them possible, the patient stories that stay with her, and why funding remains the difference between reaching 3 or 4 communities a year and reaching many more. This is what happens when healthcare professionals, volunteers, and communities become a true force for care. Cyndi Ankiewicz, welcome to the Nonprofit Podcast Network.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm looking forward to sharing our program and having this opportunity.
Well, you have so much that I think people aren't aware of that I'm looking forward to getting into the conversation as well. California CareForce. California CareForce. It's a really cute name, but it really comes from a much more serious beginning. Mm-hmm. And the service you provide the communities is anything but cute. It's really life-changing, in some cases even life-saving. 15 years or so of service, California CareForce has made quite an impact in the regions throughout the state. Can you give us a little history of the organization? Because it's really quite a unique model.
Well, actually, we started as Remote Area Medical, which is a national or even international organization. And so that was in 2011, and we had an organization. We organized volunteers to come and do services. I believe it was for like almost 5 or 7 days of services for free. And it was a great organization. We ran California briefly, but what we realized, and our volunteers realized, that we really needed to focus on the state of California. The need here is so great. The situations can be very unique here. So we decided to create California CareForce, which is basically, the name is cute, I've got to say. But it's also because we are a group of people coming together to give care. So we're a force giving care to our community.
And you're an outgrowth of the oral and maxillofacial.
Yes, surgeons. Yes. So, yes, we are the charitable arm of California Association of Oral and Maxillofacial Surgeons, or CalEMAS. So they have been our staunch supporter. They're our founding organization, and they give us the space so we don't have that overhead costs. Really has been, we wouldn't be here without CalEMAS and the leadership there.
And to clarify what you do is, it literally is not unlike a rock band tour.
Yeah.
Then you put together everything that's necessary to come to a community to provide vision and dental and medical care as the equipment itself, let's say underneath a big tent in some cases, I'm sure.
Yeah.
And I think in our conversation you were saying about 40,000 square feet would be the ideal. And there's dental chairs, there's a medical section, there's a vision section. And this roadshow goes from market to market to market across the state.
Correct. So we actually, when we started and broke away from RAM, California, or RAM was about 2013, some wonderful, generous donors gave us some startup funds. So we were able to purchase about $1 million worth of equipment.
Wow.
So we do have 72 chairs, dental chairs, all the operatories that go with it. We have vision we make glasses on site. So, of course, we need to have great equipment there because we have to be able to cut glass. We have to cut the lenses, as well as do the whole refracting, and then our medical care as well. But dental is really where it takes the majority of space. It's usually one of the very first needs of our community is the dental care. And we slowly have tried to add more than just getting a filling for free, getting an extraction, or getting your teeth clean, or x-rays. We have considerable x-ray machines as well. But we also have just started doing crown service completely for free, as well as dentures on site. So we're able to help out in those capacities as well.
Dentures on site's amazing.
Dentures on site, it is. We couldn't do it without our volunteers and all the donated equipment that we have, which is amazing that we've been able to do that. But yeah, we get a little bit of it's kind of like a template, different sizes, and then our dental professionals actually are able to modify that to fit the teeth and fit the mouth, and they can leave the clinic smiling.
So typically in a region, I would imagine it's either by city or county of some sort that you would come. And you've done multiples in Sacramento over the course of that 15 years.
Yes.
Let's say you're coming to town. How many days are you here? What's it take to set up? What's that whole process look like? To me, it's a logistical nightmare.
Yes, but that's why we have volunteers, because we have them handle that part. No, it really is a blessing that we do have the volunteers, because it is a huge endeavor in order to get this done. Of course, we have 2 very large storage units to support and house those $1 million worth of equipment. We get a big semi and usually a box truck. We have volunteers who load it all up. We have volunteers who unload and set it up. It takes at least, for a large-scale clinic, it takes at least 2 full days, more than 10 hours oftentimes, to actually set that up. So, and we do it all physically. We don't hire anyone. Everyone is volunteers, and our volunteer leads are truly amazing. They're the backbone.
So you come in a couple of days to get set up. How long are you actually in service in a community?
Depending on the community, but typically for, again, a large clinic, we're there for 3 full days.
Okay.
Usually we open the doors at 7 in the morning to our patients, and we're usually there. We officially close the doors at 5, but of course we usually have people that we see until about 6, until their services are complete.
Which is kind of amazing when you think about it, because if I go to the dentist and I want to get a crown, I get the temporary, and then I got to wait a week or 2 or 3, and I come back in.
Oftentimes.
Here, you can come in and it's all done in that 1 to 3 days. You could walk out with a whole new smile in 1 to 3 days, which we'll get to in just a second. Or a health analysis. I know that diabetes and cholesterol and those sorts of checkups are really significant. So you get your blood workups and responses right away.
We do blood glucose level testing and blood pressure for everyone that comes in our door before they go to either vision or dental services or medical. Our primary services, though, are going to be the vision and dental services. Medical is much smaller. You could talk to, of course, a physician, nurse practitioner, about aches, pains, wound care, which we have had to do, especially when we're dealing with a large unhoused population. So those kinds of things, of course, education. And in some clinics, we do A1Cs directly there where, yes, you can get the A1C results right then and there. We don't do any other extensive blood work, though, so I just want to clarify. We're not going to check lipid levels and all that kind of thing. It's mostly just making sure they're available, ready, and physically capable of being able to have the next services.
As a question, let's say they come in and you recognize something from that blood pressure test or something looks really aberrant. Is there a referral out, or does it go back into the community and then they find a way to get themselves taken care of?
We really want to have that partnership with our community vendors. So we have federally qualified healthcare agencies or FQHCs. We invite them to come, set up a table, and we really try to do a walk to them. So, for example, if we have a patient who doesn't have dental care, for example, we're going to ask them that question, and we're going to take them to a group that does provide either free or they accept Medicaid or Medicare, or even just a sliding scale fee so that they can have that follow-up care. Because, of course, especially with dental, we want you to come in every 6 months for cleaning. Even though we've already taken care of the acute and immediate needs, we want people to continue to increase their health. And that's the same with our medical section. We have referrals that we refer out.
Excellent.
And vision.
Which is a great segue to the collaborative nature of what you have into a community. What does that look like? Who do you find you work with often when, for lack of better description, the force is coming to town?
Yeah. Well, we are a very, very small staff. We want to be as efficient and as effective as possible. And we can't be in every community in the state of California. So when we decide on an area, we reach out to that community and we create what we call a host committee. They are volunteers typically in the medical community, dental field. They could be marketing professionals, dentists, whomever, volunteer organizations. And those are our boots on the ground. Without them, we couldn't do anything. They distribute our flyers. They let us know where we should have the event in Humboldt County. Where are we going to park? There's no parking downtown, They are the ones that know their community, and they're the ones that actually reach out. And that's how we market mostly. We really do the word of mouth. We rely on our partners so much to be able to get the message out. And they're responsible for helping us raise the money to cover the costs of coming out.
Which is, it's a great part of the conversation. I want to hang a little bit first on that collaborative piece.
Sure.
Are there any types of organizations that you see that you tend to align with in each of the markets, or some that maybe have a statewide presence?
We try to work with the counties. So that the government entities, they have a lot of programs, especially our smaller rural communities. We like to focus and get groups working with seniors because senior care is so important, and they don't have a lot. You think that they do with Medicare, but like for glasses, for example, you get one pair of glasses in their life. As a senior with Medicare, unless you have, of course, other kind of insurance. So we want to work with our senior populations. We work with children, of course, in schools. We really want to work with them. And not only to partner with the schools to here's this clinic, come, bring your parents, bring your kids. It's also to help increase medical professions, to educate our teenagers about the importance of medical issues and the career and what they can do to impact their community locally by, coming and learning about these programs.
How is a community decided?
We try to look at where the need is the greatest. So we're going to focus a lot of our attention on ratio of provider to patients. And if we have, 300 patients and only one dental, provider, for example, we're going to be going to that community if we can. So that is a large part of how we're going to decide where we're going to go. However, in addition, it's going to be the money. Do we have the volunteer resources? Do we have the host committee that are willing to help us raise the money to come out to that community? I would love someday to have somebody just give me a blank check, and then we can decide exactly where we need to go based on 100% of the need, not on 100% of can we raise the money and have the program there.
And hold that thought, because we're going to get to that question specifically. So the thing that I like that's really unique about your organization is it's not centrally funded, meaning central pushing the money into the community. It's the other way around. It's the host committee in that particular community who goes out and puts everything together, knows that the need is there, the opportunity has been vetted, and now it's up to the host committee to say, okay, here's what we need to do, here's the funding we need to raise. And as we were speaking earlier, the funding is really predicated on the size of the market.
Absolutely.
Which just makes natural sense. A bigger facility or a facility in Los Angeles is going to cost a lot more than it does in Humboldt County. Is there a norm, for example, that you could maybe give us, like a standard county, or maybe a Humboldt to an LA or a Humboldt to a Sacramento? What do those price differentials look like?
Sure. Why don't I go with a 2-day compared to a 3-day? That might be a little bit easier. So some of our smaller communities, we do a 2-day clinic. A 2-day clinic, again, depending on how far away they are from Roseville, which is where we are physically located and where our equipment is, anywhere from $90,000 to about $120,000. That would be just pure cost of what it costs to bring our equipment, set everything up, have the food for our volunteers so that they don't faint after they've been working on a mouth for
10,
8
12 hours.
Exactly.
Right?
And so that's kind of how much a 2-day clinic would be. Typically a 3-day clinic, which we would have for, let's say, Sacramento or LA, that is, of course, a lot more. It takes more time to set up. It takes more days to set up. And so those clinics are typically around $250,000 for a cost.
Okay, so it gives people who are listening a ballpark to say, maybe we can raise that in our community. And if I'm not mistaken, you said there could be like 65, 72 dental chairs in a facility in one setting in a
Absolutely,
at
a large event. Yes, like Sacramento, we held in October of 2025. We took over 2 buildings at Cal Expo, and we had 72 dental chairs set up, and that was including our denture and stay plate section as well as the X-ray section. So, because we have, of course, the whole Nomad X-rays, and we have the what we call Pano X-rays, which are the ones that go around the whole head and really get the whole jaw and everything related to the person, so we know exactly, our providers know exactly what's going on in the mouth. So yeah, that's just that. We have for vision, our vision section, we can have up to 10 lanes. So we could have up to 10 optometrists seeing people and deciding what a prescription is, as well as we have, I believe, 3 different machines to actually produce the glasses on site.
And if I'm not mistaken, these aren't just your basic glasses. You actually have contemporary, fashionable glasses, so people can walk out really feeling dignified and proud of what they accomplished in this setting.
We have thousands of frames that an individual can, they're all donated. We don't use reused glasses. And Kaiser, I want to just do a shout out to them. They provide so many of our frames, and it's great. We have Gucci. We have, Ralph Lauren. I mean, and it's fun. We want to give them the experience. If they go to a store, you're going to try on different glasses with your friend. You're going to have glasses. You're going to say, hey, is this one better for me or is this one better? And we want them to experience that. And we do. We provide that experience.
I have to get into the human part of it here because I remember we had a sideline conversation earlier, talking just about getting everything set up, of some of the experiences that you've seen. I mean, I'm visualizing somebody could walk in looking like X, walk out with a new mouth, a set of dentures and glasses, and you have a haircut for them, you'd be all set, right? It'd be a whole-fashioned situation. Give me a couple examples of what you've seen.
Actually, one of the examples that is just so much fun. I mean, we took picture. It was just a great, lively, positive story. So we support the Placer Veterans Stand Down every year. We go and we provide all the medical services. So this is veterans and their family members receiving services, including haircuts, actually. But for us, we provided this one man. He was an older gentleman. He didn't have any teeth because for dentures, we need to have edentulous or no teeth. He got full set of dentures within the first day, came back and then also was able to get a great pair of glasses so he could see, beautifully and smile. And then the next day, he brought his fiancée to get her glasses that day. So, and then that night, they got married. So they
on the campus?
They didn't get married on the campus, but they got married. And so the next day when we were cleaning up, they came back and they're like, you changed our life. We were able to smile and see each other doing our vows. So that was kind of a fun story. But some of them are, Vision, for example, you don't realize, I think, how much vision is so valuable. I mean, we think, oh, well, if I'm blind, obviously, you're going to have a problem reading, you can't drive and things. But there are people who just need a correction, and it's easy for us to provide that correction. We don't do contacts, but we do glasses, including bifocals. And we were in Eureka 2 years ago, and we were there recently for just a volunteer kind of fair. We had 3 different people come to us and thank us for being there in 2024. And one person was like, look, I'm still wearing your glasses. Because of you, I filled out an application. I'm no longer homeless. I have a job. I'm actually contributing to my community. And I couldn't do it without being able to see. Other people, they wouldn't be able to do it without smiling and not being in pain constantly for dental issues. Watching somebody who actually comes in, they're sad, they're embarrassed because they don't have any teeth, they don't smile, they don't eat things like even a sandwich, and being able to leave with a little pep in their step, smiling, just beaming with confidence is huge and life-altering. And we have that every day we have a clinic.
And if I'm not mistaken, all the medical care is provided volunteer as well, yes?
Absolutely, yes. We don't provide any fees. We don't charge anything. We don't even ask if someone has insurance. Anyone can come and receive our services for free because of our volunteers. So we have oral surgeons, optometrists, ophthalmologists, dentists, nurses, medical doctors. They all come and with the goodness of their heart, volunteering hours on their feet to really help make a difference for their community.
And away from their own practice.
Absolutely.
At least for whatever the 2 or 3 days.
Or longer if they're traveling. Absolutely. And that's what's hard, I think. They really are, especially after COVID. I think things changed in our medical community. So it's harder for them to let go of their practice, or sometimes they don't even have their own private practice anymore. So that's one of our challenges that we face, is getting those providers, especially optometrists.
And over the course of this call it the 15 years,
Sure.
over 55,000 people have been served through CareForce, $21 million in funding generated to pull it all off, and 24,000 volunteers. That's an amazing number of people engaged in the process throughout the state to make this happen.
Absolutely. Well, and just to clarify, it's $21 million worth of the value of the services. We didn't spend $21,000 because, no, we didn't do that. But yeah, but it's the value of, if somebody had to pay for it, it would have been $21 million over of services provided free.
Which is an incredibly astounding number when you think about it.
It is.
My guest is Cyndi Ankiewicz of California CareForce. We'll return to hear more about their unique delivery of healthcare in the state after we take a moment to recognize those who help this program stay healthy.
Make our communities bright with Smudge Shine Awards. Now through July 31st, your nonprofit can apply for a chance to receive funding for projects that improve and revitalize communities in our service area. We're seeking proposals that support zero carbon workforce development, affordability and community resiliency, economic development, and STEM education. Smudge Shine Awards are competitive and funds are limited. Submit your proposal by July 31st. Learn more at smud.org/shine.
I'm James Beckwith, President and CEO of 5 Star Bank. We're dedicated to supporting nonprofit organizations who advocate for the strength, resilience, and vitality of those they serve. When nonprofit organizations thrive, our community does too. By supporting the Nonprofit Podcast Network, 5 Star Bank is amplifying the voices and meaningful impact of our nonprofit community. We're 5 Star Bank, a trusted nonprofit partner. How can we help you?
We are really excited to be part of the family and contribute to the work that you all are doing. CORE provides fractional and interim executive services, along with comprehensive back-office solutions that go into our client sites and do the work to give them the capacity they need in order to move through transitions, whether that's planned or unplanned. Or companies also work with our accounting and finance, back-office solutions, human resources, technology, and administration. The reason why our back office solutions add value is because we save them time and money, anywhere from 20 to 30% of what they would spend on that back office solution. We work in it so they can actually work on it. CXORE.com and contact me directly at DTEAT at cxore.com.
If you're interested in learning more about how CORE may help your organization, visit cxore.com.
Hello, this is Scott Thomas with Cap Trust in our Sacramento office. I specialize in working with local nonprofits and associations. Annually, we survey private and public nonprofit organizations across the country to better understand challenges they see in today's environment. In our more recent survey, we heard concerns about proper board governance, mission-aligned investment, and how to implement alternative investments. If you would like a copy of the survey or to discuss your organization, look me up, Scott Thomas at captrust.com.
At Western Health Advantage, healthcare isn't just a service. It's a shared value. As a nonprofit leader, you need a health plan that understands the importance of mission-driven work. Western Health Advantage is a local, not-for-profit health plan that supports organizations like yours with affordable, flexible coverage options for your team. But what truly sets them apart is their commitment to community, supporting nonprofits like the American Heart Association, Sacramento Ballet, and the Crocker Art Museum's Pay What You Wish Sundays. With access to top-tier providers and dedicated local support, Western Health Advantage is more than a health plan. It's a partner in your purpose. Explore your options today at westernhealth.com. Western Health Advantage, healthcare with heart, designed for those who give back.
Hi, I'm Brad Squires, CEO of Sacramento Venture Philanthropy. For more than a decade, SVP has brought together local donors, business leaders, and nonprofit changemakers to do philanthropy differently. Through pooled funding, hands-on mentorship, and programs like Fast Pitch and 100X, SVP helps nonprofits build real, long-term capacity, not just short-term solutions. If you're looking to go beyond writing the check and want to use your experience, your voice, your leadership to create a lasting impact and have a lot of fun doing it, now is the time to join SVP. Learn more about becoming a partner at svpsacramento.org.
So you mentioned if you had a blank check.
Oh,
So I'm going to give you the opportunity to explain that just a little bit more, because if it did happen, what would it look like? What would you do differently today that you can't do now?
So much of our time is focused on the funding efforts rather than recruiting volunteers, helping the community, educating them about, maybe physical education, adding programs. There is so much need in our communities, especially in our rural communities. We can't get there. Right now we can do about 3 to 4 a year, and that's it. And let me tell you, every month I have people calling me, asking me to come to their community, and we just can't do it. We don't have the funds, we don't have the staff resources, and we're unable to do it. I wish we could. I really do, because there is a need everywhere.
How do they find out about you?
Our website, we do press releases, of course, in the community. Oftentimes it's insurance companies, Medicare. They say, oh, check out this clinic. Or they just look. A lot of people call us just on an individual basis thinking we're a site-built clinic, which we're not. We load up our material, we go to a fairgrounds, we take over that fairgrounds, and then we offer the services and leave. So that is where a lot of people learn about us, is asking, oh, I heard you did one in Sacramento. When are you coming back? And unfortunately, because the need is so great throughout the state, we don't typically go to the same area every year.
Mm-hmm. If you could, you certainly would, but then you would still need the show. You need all the equipment, so you've got $1 million worth of equipment once, but it can't be in multiple places at the same time.
Yes.
And probably not even close proximity on a calendar, because it takes so much to tear down, set up, put it all together. I mean, maybe 2 a month in the best case scenario ever, if that.
Oh, 2 a month. That's just, a lot. I'm like,
wow.
wow.
Oh, my gosh, no.
Yeah.
not even 2 1 a month. 10 a year.
Yeah. Well, we rely so much on our volunteers, and our team leads are vital. They're the ones that put everything together. They're the ones that lead our volunteers. I am not a dental professional. I don't know anything about that. So we really need somebody to set that up. And that's the only group of people that travel with us. So one of our issues that we would have to do 1 a month is they're volunteering their time, often taking vacation time, just to come and help us out. And to set up it might take 5 days to set up, tear down, do the event. So plus add travel days on that. We're looking at somebody volunteering a week's worth of time. So that would be a challenge for us.
Yeah, the logistical nightmare got bigger.
So yeah, we would have to actually pay staffing for that, and that would be costly.
Yes. Well,
Not
that
as
was the
efficient.
next question I was going to ask. As we come out of the dream of what we could do with an unlimited budget, if you look at specifically, because the host committee is who funds the program in that particular market, what about the unrestricted for admin? Where does that come from?
Well, our admin costs are very, very low. We're, again, blessed that Ankiewicz gives us the space, so we don't have any of that. So a lot of the admin comes from undesignated donations, individual gifts. If someone wants to donate stocks, add us in their will, do a bequest, make a large major gift, that helps us with those costs, which is, incredible. But right now, I believe there's only I just did our annual report for 2025, and 84%, I believe, of the money that's given to us actually goes right to our programs. So our administrative and fundraising costs are very, very low. So
Which is testament to the community's doing a great job.
Absolutely. And we have a variety of we do fundraising. We ask foundations who might not be in a community but want to support that community or want to support our types of programs. They give us funds, and we allocate it to the different areas to make sure that if there is a little bit of a miss from that community, can't quite raise the money, that actually we use our funds for that.
Okay. So we're close. Your event is coming up, hypothetically, in November.
Yes.
And the community's almost there.
Oh, so close.
Just to push somebody over, you can then do the event. You usually typically can find when it gets into those, say, 5-digit things, $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 it'd be tragic to not be able to pull it off if that was the miss, to where you can really get out. And the host committee, I'm sure, is working it harder at that point. And they could be going from just philanthropic contributions in a community to grant writing, right?
Correct. Yes,
Okay.
yes. And then we have a grant writer contract as well that helps us. Oh, she's been amazing to help us get those funds as well. Yeah.
Good.
But they're doing events for Humboldt County. We're going to Chipotle, on July 25th, I believe.
And that's your next
in
upcoming in November, I believe it is.
Correct.
Not to date the program, but to give you an example of what this looks like. So Humboldt County now is hustling to make sure that they have the funding to have their events.
Correct. In November. Usually, I think we've had to cancel an event a couple of times. We've had to postpone it to the next year just to give us a little bit more time to raise those funds, including the Sacramento event. So,
but it doesn't eliminate the event. It just means we prolong it.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's the greatest need?
The greatest need is funding, honestly, because if we didn't have to focus so much of our time on funding, we can add more resources. We could get a mammography van there to add mammograms. Actually, in Coachella Valley, we go there, and we do have a sponsor that pays for our clinic there. So we have a mammography van there. We do women's visits like pap smears, completely free. And those are things that we would be able to do and add those services, periodontal services. That would be important. We've also really looked at our health, our medical section to see what additional services could be done. But right now, we just need the money so that we can do the basics. And I'd like to see that grow. I'd like to do more. I'd like to see something down south, somewhere up here, and have funding to actually have the equipment so we don't have to move it as much, so we can eliminate 2 days of travel if need be.
So if somebody's got about $1 million, they can give it to you and you can buy all the equipment you need and have 2 sets.
Absolutely. That's exactly what I'd like to do.
And an endowment for storage.
Oh, we would love to have storage. That would be amazing. And an office for ourselves as well.
Yeah. And I think that makes sense. Just for people to get their heads around it, that funding issue isn't necessarily through the central office of the organization here in Roseville. It literally is the funding market to market to market.
Absolutely.
And so when you hear that it's coming to town, you recognize the significance of what this means for your community and the well-being of the community. There is the opportunity to get engaged. And or somebody who is either philanthropically inclined, grew up in a particular county or city and knows that it's coming, they want to push it out that way. By all means, that works too.
Absolutely.
In terms of the actual communities, what sort of responsibility or necessity is there? Is there any special permitting or requirements that you have when you bring the organization, the show, so to speak, to town? or is most of that fairly standard operating procedure?
Well, honestly, that's a really good question. I've never been asked that before, but I look at California CareForce as we are not directly a medical clinic. We're a nonprofit organization that facilitates our force of volunteers to come and do the services. So it's not a clinic, so we don't have any kind of obligations there. Every one of our volunteers is there under their own license. They're under their own insurance. All we have to do is make sure that the fire marshal's okay with where we put our equipment and, in whichever fairgrounds or wherever we're going to be having it, as well as that we have general insurance taken care of.
Sure. Well, I mean, I'm thrilled to hear that, too, because you don't get caught up in this morass of legal issues because you're not a clinic per se.
Absolutely.
But the good that you do is absolutely clinician services. Yeah, I love that, and I'm thrilled to hear that we don't get caught up in the entanglements of, I can go down the line and list, and just to get a building built, what it takes. It sounds like you're able to move faster than any of that because of the way that you're structured and set up.
Absolutely. And it's very unique. It's a unique structure, especially since we're not a brick and mortar. And that's why we can really take $1 or $100,000 and make it last and make an impact. We're not putting it towards a building fund. We're not putting it towards salaries as much. We're putting it towards where the need is, which is providing that direct service and facilitating, actually, the providers to provide that direct service.
And that's what intrigued me so much about wanting to speak with you, because it's so unique. And there's only one of you doing what you do. Occasionally we'll hear of a healthcare system set up a free day, in a community or two. But that's very different.
To the scale right now here in California, to my knowledge, we are the only ones that do large-scale clinics. There are groups that do things for 6 hours here and there, have maybe 5 chairs, but that's not 72 chairs. We're able to see a lot more and make a larger impact.
Well, over 3 days and 3 different services from medical to dental to vision. Yeah, that just doesn't exist.
Well, and the other thing is we don't have any requirements. The only requirement we have is with the placer veteran stand down that they have to be a veteran or a family member. And that's not our requirement. That's the stand down's requirement. Anyone can come have our services. So we actually had someone 2 years ago in Eureka who wasn't able to, we didn't have denture services back there. It's a small community. We didn't have the space. She actually came with her son all the way down to Indio in 2025 to get dentures, to see a doctor. She actually got on Ozempic, I believe. She got glasses. And that was a long drive for her. So you don't even have to really be in the community. You can travel with us.
Just for the benefit of the veterans organizations that we have either listening or that we've spoken to, what is the placer stand down? Because that's an annual event, yes?
Yes, it is. It's in Roseville every year. They usually have it at the placer, or at the grounds.
County Fairgrounds.
In
no,
Roseville.
At the grounds. The grounds.
Yes, it's at the grounds.
Got
yes,
it. Which is different from the fairgrounds, everybody.
Yeah, but they come every year. They provide free services to veterans and their family members. They have even people who, if they are unhoused, they can come and they set up tents for them so that they can have services. They even have veterinary services for free. So they can come in and get their hair cut, unhoused. They can have showers. They have food every day. They provide food every day. There's a lot of vendors there so that they can see other organizations to support their needs. And then, of course, California CareForce provides the dental, vision, and medical services for free.
And is that a particular time every year, the same time every
year?
Yes,
it's usually the second week, I believe, of May.
Okay.
And it's in the middle of the week. It's usually a Tuesday, Wednesday,
Perfect.
2 days.
Because that takes place on a regular basis in our region. So for the benefit of those, I just want to make sure we get that out there, because here you are. And it's an opportunity for our veterans share that information and say, hey, by the way, if you're just hold on until May and then get up there and get it taken care of.
Yep. If they can, that would be wonderful.
Excellent. So we know that running a nonprofit is a challenge for the leadership. Many times you just wear it on your shoulders all the time. Not that it's a bad thing. It's just there.
Absolutely.
And you can't not see it every single day in some way, shape, or form. But there is a human behind these nonprofits, and we want to get to know Cyndi just a little bit better. So we're going to go beyond the mission for a second, and I'm going to ask you some questions that are just personal questions, nothing heavy. but simple, fun stuff. So people go, I see. All right. If you're on a drive,
okay,
you're going to listen to podcast music or silence on the drive?
Silence. I love the silence. And actually, I just started listening to audiobooks. I never had done that before, but yeah. So either I'm listening to a book, talking on the phone, finally catching up with people, right? That's always so hard when you're working 6, 7, days a week and 10 hours a day. When do I catch up with people? So able to do that as well. That's what I usually do on a drive.
Windshield time.
I'm sorry?
Windshield time.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Favorite go-to comfort food?
Oh, tacos. That is always my go-to. Taco Tuesday, fabulous. I can eat them every day. Every day. Or burritos.
Favorite movie?
Ooh, that's a hard one. Depends on what genre. Yeah, I still love Speed. Remember that one?
Oh, I do.
Old time. I love that one. True Lies. That was a great year for movies, actually. I think Jurassic Park came out, and yeah, that was a great time.
Any hidden talent? Something people be surprised to know about you?
Hidden talent. I have to say it's not really a talent, but what people don't know about me is in the 5th grade, I was a disco baby. So I actually had a disco class, and that was a lot of fun, and I still remember part of the dance, but I actually do like to dance.
John Travolta?
Of course. That's the way.
What's a perfect day off look like for you?
Spending it with my family. I have a beautiful grandbaby that has moved in with me, my son and daughter-in-law and him. And just that smile can make my day.
If I'm not mistaken, 2 years old?
Yes, 2. Mm-hmm. And he's just learning to swim. So that's my other thing that I like. And I like to, during the summer, I like to float. I like to just relax in the sunshine. I love the sunshine.
So, Cyndi, if you weren't doing the work you're doing today, what do you think you'd be doing?
I have no idea. Probably volunteering. That's what I'd probably be doing. I've been in the nonprofit world for 40 years now, so I've never really done much of anything else.
No, not at 40 years, because I'm looking at you thinking that's got to be your entire career.
Pretty much, yes.
If there's one question somebody would ask of you, what would it be?
Someone, anyone, or like my kids?
Yeah,
I know what they would ask me for.
So, in other words, what do you think? What would you like people to ask you more?
How can they help?
Awesome.
How can they help?
Great question. See, painless.
I love it. Thank you. This was wonderful. I appreciate having this opportunity to share.
How can the community support California CareForce? What's the best way to learn more?
They can go to our website, California CareForce, all spelled out, .org. Definitely do that. We're also really looking at having a marketing committee. We're looking at rebranding potentially. So we're looking for people who have marketing experience to join that brand new committee that we're creating. And then, of course, donating. Always keep us in your will, and anything really helps.
The website is CaliforniaCareForce.org?
Correct.
Okay, so very, very simple. It's the name .org. And I noticed you also have not only the ability to learn more about the organization, but you also have the ability for people who are interested in participating, getting service there
absolutely.
as well. So if you are somebody who knows that the CareForce is coming to your community, you can go online and sign up, which or is it just information?
It's just information. We
Got it,
don't
okay.
actually have any sign-ups for participants. Anyone can come, first come, first serve. So they have to stand in line.
Oh, even better.
And then
so
get first come, first serve.
It's just a purely dignified situation. Nothing
Absolutely.
to have to. I love that.
Mm-hmm.
For the other agencies that are hearing this conversation, I think it's really important because so many people do serve so many different communities around the state that the knowledge of knowing you exist, or saying, hey, we need to bring you back to Sacramento, or because the coverage here is regional, you name the county, El Dorado County, Yolo County, Placer County, or Sacramento, back at Cal Expo. Just the awareness that that conversation can be had because the need is so great. And somebody may be able to see a value with their organization to partner and bring it. And so I want to make that point because we typically don't, but in this case, because you're so connected in so many different ways, you've got food insecurity and homelessness or housing insecurity, temporary, even in some cases, but that medical part of it all, and by medical I mean the full encompassing holistic part of it, from the medical, the dental, and the vision. So many people don't have access to that on a regular basis. So many organizations are servicing those people that don't have that access. Just the thought of a combined opportunity.
Sure.
To say, why don't we'll bring it in, we'll help you, we've got the funding, and make it work. So I want to point that out to those who listen that we know are in the nonprofit space, other organizations, that you're certainly open to that opportunity.
Absolutely. And we actually invite them to come and set up a table to share their programs as well, because we really do want our patients to not just come and get their teeth fixed. We want them to have more of a holistic approach. We want them to get the services that they may need, for anything in the community. And the patients, I think we were talking earlier about, we've had a nonprofit organization who learned about, I was in the fast pitch program with SVP, and she was like, this is great. And Sacramento Clinic came the next day. I went to him, and they're like, oh, one of my favorite patients. The clients came, and they got vision services, and I didn't realize he could barely see. He shouldn't have been driving, So and he was just so thankful that he was able to come in. He got there early. He didn't even have much of a wait. It was really pretty impactful, because everything does begin with health. I mean, you can't have other services if you can't eat, or if you can't see, or if you just feel sick. And, dental issues especially, the infections that can cause, it's not just pain. Infections in your mouth can create problems, long-lasting problems throughout your entire body. We need to get those infections taken care of and have follow-up care.
Well, bringing the equivalent of a superstar music tour to our regional communities throughout the state is really a unique program. I just have this vision all the time of, here comes the band, here's the tour, here they are. The band members are the doctors, the support team is the setup crew, the people are kind of the groupies. I want to come and get this thing. I'm excited to be here. But it really is an amazing concept, doing really, really amazing work. So thank you. And all the people that are involved, not just your team. How many people do you employ?
We have only 3 staff people.
Oh, my goodness. Okay, so your mighty team of 4, you and 3.
No, 3. That includes
inclusive
me.
You.
That's including me.
Okay. Well, the mighty team of 3, the trio. And all those doctors, doctors, dentists, optometrists, all those people that really give of their time. Thank you. We appreciate what that's all about.
I just want to say I'm going to share that they're rock stars. I'm going to say we are rock stars in the truest sense. That's right. So
they go on tour. Well, let's go make something better.
Thank you so much for having me.
This episode has been powered by SMUD, Sacramento Municipal Utility District's Shine Awards program benefiting nonprofits for energy efficiency. Apply today.
Thank you for listening to the Nonprofit Podcast Network. We hope today's episode inspired you and gave you a deeper look into the work of our local nonprofits. If you believe in our mission to amplify their voices, please take a moment to leave us a positive review and share this episode with a friend. It helps more people discover the incredible work happening in our community. Don't miss future episodes. Subscribe to our weekly updates and monthly newsletter at nonprofpod.com. And if you're a part of a nonprofit that would like to be featured, we'd love to hear from you. Just visit the Guest tab on our website. The Nonprofit Podcast Network is recorded and produced at Hear Me Now Studio with generous support from our partners, CapTrust, fiduciary advice for endowments and foundations, online at captrust.com. Western Health Advantage, local care with community impact. Find the plan that fits at westernhealth.com. CORE, executive leadership and comprehensive support services. Visit cxore.com. And 5 Star Bank, a local trusted advisor to community nonprofits for over 25 years. 5starbank.com. And finally, our episode sponsor, Sacramento Venture Philanthropy, a community of generosity combining people, expertise, and capital for good. svpsacramento.org.